Brazilians go to the polls on Sunday to elect their next president. It's a runoff between left-wing former President Lula da Silva and right-wing incumbent Jair Bolsonaro. And poverty is a huge election issue because of COVID and, of course, the cost of living. Well, northeastern Brazil is one of the worst poverty-stricken areas in the country, and Lula has overwhelming support there. The BBC's Camilla Mota reports.
This is a favela in Ceará, in northeastern Brazil. Places like this have become crucial in the runoff election, as both candidates for president are trying to attract votes from the poorest. People have always struggled here, but recently things have gotten much worse. This video went viral last year. People so hungry that they're jumping inside a garbage truck, looking for leftovers from a supermarket. Lucia is one of the people in the video. She and her daughter started doing this during the pandemic.
We didn't even have bread for the children, so we took everything we could find from the garbage. Coffee, soap, yogurt, rice, sugar, everything.
It's really tough when your son asks for a biscuit and you don't have the money to buy it. But when Lula was president, I had so much help and support. That's why I'm voting for him again.
People who struggle financially are over 2 times more likely to vote for Lula than Bolsonaro. They say he genuinely understands their problems because he himself comes from poverty. And it may be Lula's ability to connect with the poorest that could swing this election in his favor.
Many people remember fondly that when Lula was president, he lifted millions of Brazilians out of poverty.
It's a retrospective vote. Lula does so well with low-income voters because they remember how their lives were transformed. They compare it with the current situation and remember what they felt were better times. And they think he can do it again.
Like Leo. He lives in an impoverished neighborhood across town. He's an influencer. He says that Lula's policies improved his life every step of the way.
I was 10 years old when Lula took office. I received financial aid. Then I got a grant to go to university. And then I had access to a housing program. That's how I got my home, when I was 27. For me, Lula represents hope.
But hope is one thing. In reality, if Lula does win, he will inherit a completely different country than the one he ran 20 years ago. Brazil is grappling with unemployment, rising food prices, and a high public debt. This will make it very hard for Lula to invest in the social programs that many of his voters are counting on. Camilla Mota, BBC News, Fortaleza.